There we go. Okay, so you might notice, for those of the who see the video,
Our 10 viewers.
our 10 viewers, thank you so much. It's been a couple weeks because we almost died. Not really, but maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a couple sick weeks.
Yeah. And
And
Jen's really tan.
I've been staying out by the pool trying to get my sunshine and bake the sickness out of me.
I tried to do that the other day.
Did it work?
No, but it did feel good. I slowly took more and more clothes off as the time went by. I was like, I
been
think I'm
hot
gonna put my
here.
bathing suit bottoms on.
Yeah, whatever. If you live in the country, you don't need it.
No, I
It's
know.
fine. Yeah, so this is our, maybe this is too embarrassing to share, but this is our
Redemption episode.
third time trying to record. We've had a time with the audio.
Yeah, I don't know if any audio engineers, Dylan, might want to give us a call and show up. We're not gonna call you and ask for help. If you could just show up on notes, that would be great.
Anyways, we downgraded from the fancy mics to some,
Way cooler mics.
some way cooler mics to mounted on a Sharpie.
Yep.
And a cowboy boot. So we're gonna try this. I feel like the third time's a charm. So this is it.
We're gonna do it.
This is happening today. So I guess I'm doing the intro then.
Yep.
Okay. So this fine, we'll introduce ourselves. Episode 3.
Yeah.
So I'm Jen. I got into business through photography and real estate, all while trying to leave a profession that I didn't enjoy, that I low-key hated, and started having babies in the middle of it, and trying to navigate a business that I didn't specifically choose.
Right.
So we're gonna get into that, and then Faith.
I got into business via being forced somewhat to manage a business that was not mine on my own. More details on that later.
So we kind of, so it sounds like we both got into business.
We both said, fine, I'll do it.
Fine. I'm here. Let's make it happen. Okay. All right. So we're going to go through a couple questions and we're just going to ask each other the same thing and we'll get into it.
Yeah. Okay. Jen, what did your life actually look like right before you started?
I just realized that I took notes on all of this, which I have nowhere now. Okay. It's fine. I know my story. What was the question?
What did your life actually look like before all of the things?
Everything. Wait. Yeah. So my career is, my education is in nursing. I'm a registered nurse, and that's where everything began. That was the career that I didn't love.
Are you still registered?
Oh yeah, I'm a registered nurse. It's kind of hard. Once you become a nurse and you have the license, it's such a secure industry. Like, why ever not have it there unless something else is? Yeah. So nursing was the field that I did. I tried to escape it in college, and my parents were like, no, you're going to be a nurse. I was like, okay, fine. That was the first fine.
There's been a lot.
There's been a lot of fines. So became a nurse, met my husband in nursing. We were doing travel nursing together when we bought our first real estate investment property together. And I wasn't necessarily involved in that business. I was just aiding financially to it. We went in together with my brother. So it was less risk to all of us.
Yeah.
And we bought our first property. That seemed to be going well. We kind of crushed our first deal and everybody was super pumped about it. So the guys wanted to buy more. And the original thought was that at some point it would replace maybe part of our nursing shifts. So we could maybe work 1 day a week and that would be ideal.
Yeah.
Or eventually not at all for me. And that would be excellent.
Yeah.
But that was the plan. And we bought a few more properties. I wasn't involved in the business, and a couple years later, I asked my brother and husband what the financials looked like, how long was it going to be until I could retire from nursing. I have places to be and things to do.
Had a plan.
I have a plan, and it does not involve being in the hospital. And nobody could answer my questions, and they were like, I feel like things are going well. And I was very annoyed with that.
Not enough.
Because that was not a plan. I didn't have, that wasn't strong enough for me to know what was happening. So that's kind of where I inserted myself into the company. So the background story is nursing.
Mhm.
And then I guess in the middle of all this, we started having kids. We had Indy. So that's kind of the background. Baby Indy, nursing, slowly getting into real estate because I felt like what we were doing was not being managed well.
Right. Okay. What was the mistake that you made early on that you wouldn't put in the Instagram caption? But as we know that we would put it in the Instagram
But we would.
caption.
Right. The mistake early on. So when I got involved in the real estate, we scaled from, at the time we had 11-ish units, and we scaled quite a bit.
Which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
You guys were like, that's a pretty big operation.
Right. And I think we just didn't know. We didn't know what we were going after in the beginning.
Yeah.
And my husband, Colin, found that he loved chasing the deals and putting together things. And we did a lot of creative financing. So there were just so many fun things he's figuring out. And he's a creative person. So they were pursuing more properties. Meanwhile, they were not being we're buying properties that are under market, and then they're kind of a mess in general, and then we're bringing them up to market rents, and we ended up getting involved in mobile home parks, and then we really liked that niche even better.
Yeah.
So we ended up selling off our single family, our multifamily properties that we had, and then we went all in on mobile home parks. But that is a difficult clientele to manage.
Yeah.
It's very difficult, and when you buy a property, you're buying anywhere from like 10 homes to 80, 90 homes, which was our last acquisition.
Right.
So we started, you have to be on it when you're doing that big of an operation. And so I moved like mom and pop type of rental collection and management and maintenance systems to everything's online. And I was preparing basically our little company to be able to handle
the scale
1,000 units, which is like the goal.
Yeah. So what was the mistake that you made though?
Oh yeah, sorry. So the mistake I made was in the beginning, having no experience in business, I guess doubting my decisions all along the way instead of just like, this is what we got to do, spend a little time researching and then just go for it.
Yeah.
I yanked my team around a little bit.
Yeah.
And I didn't trust the decisions that I made.
Yeah.
And so we take a step forward and then take a few steps back. And like for the software that I chose for managing, I went back and forth several times and created way more work than we already had.
Yeah.
So I think if I would have just owned the decisions and then just went forward,
it
would have been much better. So I don't actually talk about that usually.
Yeah, but like if it's good, those types of mistakes make us better people.
Yeah. And part of it's just learning how to manage. Like I said, my experiences in nursing, I've never taken a single business class in my life. Everything that I've learned has been self-taught and YouTube and podcasts and books.
So yeah, that's a different. I mean, I don't know if I wouldn't have had the same like experiences that I had, and I was forced to learn everything on YouTube. I would be. I don't think I'd be. You're doing great.
Oh, thank you.
Because if somebody made me watch YouTube to learn how to do stuff, I'd be like,
I can't tell you how many hours I spent on YouTube.
Yeah.
So many hours.
Something about the way YouTube is edited that I'm just like, ugh, can't watch it.
When there's something I need to know, I don't care how it's presented to me. I'm like, this is what I need this.
She's the research queen.
I am the research.
Okay. What did starting actually cost you? Did it cost you money, sleep? What was it that it cost you?
It cost me all of the above for sure. When we first started, it was a big investment. My husband and I had gotten into a ton of debt as newlyweds because we put a lot of our wedding on credit card. So we might have had $50,000 or something like that in debt.
What did we learn today? I think that's something that not a lot of people get told. Which, we're going to talk about that. Like how quickly you got out of that. I remember, it's not a lot of something that people don't talk about a lot is like how much wedding cost and like the implications of that debt can have on your relationship and that that is like a total unfair thing to be that gets pushed on young people, is like the whole marriage, wedding, the costs, and I don't think people at that age are really thinking like, oh, like the implications of what that means.
Yeah,
And the
for
debt.
sure. And looking back, I totally wish we would have eloped.
Yeah.
That would have first, and at the time, I remember going back and forth. I was like, oh, maybe we should elope. If we don't elope, am I gonna always regret it? But you never know until you do it. And we did the wedding, and of course, our parents and families loved it. The wedding is always for the family. It's usually not about the bride and groom.
You guys are
Which
beautiful.
is a terrible tradition that needs to be broken immediately.
People do not like me when I'm like, it's not about you, actually.
Yeah. Okay, we need, especially when you're paying for it, it needs to be exactly what you want, because we spent the first 5 years of marriage in debt that was just growing and growing.
Yeah, and that's stressful and hard.
Yeah. So that's why we ended up in travel nursing, because we had this piling up, and we said we've got to I was getting close to 30, and I was like, okay, things need to change. I was starting to freak out. Everything's super fun in your 20s. You're just having a great time. I started to get close to 30, and I'm like, okay, what is the plan here? We have to address this. And that's how we ended up on travel nursing assignments.
Yeah.
We ended up paying it off in a year and a half.
$50,000 paid off in a year and a half by travel nursing.
Yep. And also we bought our first investment at that same time.
And this was dual income, no children, or dual income, one child?
Dual income, no kids.
Such a nice time.
That is a really great place to be.
We were eating at Bottega every day.
That was a great time to be alive.
I think about that all the time. Like every time I see like somebody with dual income, no children, like out at like a Michelin star restaurant, it's not even about the lack of children, it's the funds that they have to go.
I know. It's another it's another lifetime. But obviously love the kiddos now. Things are just different. Now we're broke. No.
I'm broke. You're doing good.
No, we're figuring things out. We're in a growth. We're building right now.
Yeah.
We're both building.
Yeah.
With
good
children,
place to be.
Which is lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did I answer the question? I don't remember.
I think the mistake that you made was
no, we were talking about what it took to so the funds. Yeah. It was a big sacrifice. So in the beginning, oh my gosh, I'm being terrible at answering questions today. In the beginning, we sacrificed a lot of time to build up the management side of the company so that it could grow, the investment company could grow. So we were not working in the hospital as much. So our immediate income was plummeting after.
Which was ballsy of you guys. Not a lot of people would take that jump. A lot of people keep their stable income and work on their side projects when in reality, in order to progress forward, you need to flip it.
Both
you
of
guys
us
did it.
Are kind of dreamers. So sometimes we encourage each other in maybe the non-steady path, definitely in the non-steady path.
Yeah.
So that's what we did. We lived very tightly and stressfully for a couple years as we were making sure this business could grow. And then when we moved here, after we had a kid to the Napa Valley area, we both went back to nursing full time.
Yeah.
To support the move, because we're still pouring everything we have into this company. It's building. We decided instead of taking income right away, it was more important to us to put everything back into the company to grow it, because we see the potential of where it could be.
Yeah.
And we decided to change our mindset on what we wanted the company. Initially, we wanted it to fund us today.
Yeah.
And then we realized if we put more into it, it could be something that it's like our retirement plan.
Yeah. Sustain your children even.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we're going for now.
Yeah. Indy's going to be a what do they call like the landlords, but like slumlord.
Slumlord. She's going to be a slumlord. Yeah.
the sweetest little slumlord ever met.
Yeah. She already talks about like, as when we drive by properties, and we're just constantly talking real estate. So she'll ask us about rent and like the other day I was asking her, I was trying to teach her about helping out in the house and things she could do to like earn money. And she said, I just need a laptop so I can have a property. It's like, go girl.
Yes.
You're
I'm
there.
definitely going to get her Monopoly.
Oh, she would love that.
Yeah, play it together. It's such a long game though.
Oh yeah.
We'd have to dedicate a full day.
But yes, all the sacrifices, and because Indy was small too when we're building, and obviously time, we were we were spending a lot of hours in the business, and at the time didn't feel very fun.
Which is interesting that like the indie was so small and you guys were like thinking like let's do this, because I was definitely not having those thoughts when I had like Enzo at that. I mean, I did with Valentina, but my first, I was just like,
Yeah.
what is happening?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where that came from. I think we'd been listening to podcasts, and we were listening to Bigger Pockets a lot, which used to be a lot of real estate stories about regular people
Yeah.
building these side hustles that then supported them either partially or fully, and we just got super motivated on it. And both of us have the mentality of, why not me? If somebody else can do it, like, why can't we do it?
Why not me?
Yeah.
If not me, who? If
Yeah.
not now, when?
Exactly. So
it costs you a lot of money, a lot of time.
Mhm.
When was the first time you thought, okay, this might actually work?
When we hired a full-time employee into the management side of the company, because before that, I was kind of pulling my hair out, answering calls for 80 tenants that just complained. I don't have the personality. Like, I would be horrible in customer service. I don't have that.
Like the nurses at the ER yesterday.
Yeah. Also, why I wasn't good in the hospital. It's like, you have to have this just gentleness and just,
empathy and sympathy.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like that might not be my strength. So
all good.
Yeah, so I forgot what we were talking about.
When did you think you were actually going to make it?
So
Like, when did you think, like, oh, this is it?
Yes.
This is the moment.
So we hired our full-time employee into the management company, and he's basically our general manager. And we have taught him our systems and what we're doing. And now he handles the load of the day-to-day work. And I started working more as an owner. And that's when I was like, okay, this is actually sustainable. Before that, I was feeling so burnt out. Like, I traded one job that was not lovely to another job that was, at least we owned it. So that there's always that fulfillment, but it was so chaotic. And also I still had Indy, and she's getting older, and she's now 2 or 3, and she needs way more of my time. So I didn't feel like I couldn't just like sneak away and
work a little bit.
Call or it was getting frustrating. So when he came and stepped into the business, I was like, okay, we've got something here.
You got some, you can breathe.
Yes.
Yeah.
This can happen. Amazing. We didn't hire early enough. And I hear that, and I see that in all these entrepreneur stories of people building, and that's what everybody says. They wish they would have hired sooner.
I had to hire immediately, or my husband was going to murder me.
Yes.
So he's still
that's a good motivation.
He's still pretty close. So I mean, I didn't want to hire as early as I did, but I was kind of, I get it, is what I'm trying to say. It's necessary, especially as a mom.
Yeah.
Especially a mom of small children.
Yeah, at the time, it's very demanding.
Yeah.
In the beginning. So thankfully, by the time we had kid number 2, we already have our full-time employee in the business, and we have a couple virtual assistants helping, and things are running much more smoothly.
Now we're just having a good time.
And now
dreaming bigger.
And now I can work on some other fun projects. Because I didn't like that when I was full in on property management and real estate investing. I was like, it's great. And I'm so thankful that we got into it.
Yeah.
But I also at the same time was like, this is maybe not something I would have chosen, because I need creative outlets. I want to work on something fun and creative, and I do photography, and I'm always like, when can I work on that thing?
Right now.
So Jen,
yes, you are very creative. It's something that I love about you. But we've had this conversation a few times, because this is our 3rd time filming this episode, but we talked about it several times.
We have.
I appreciate that you are so type A, but you are so creative. You lean into it, but you have this like discipline about you that is honorable. Okay. And what does your day-to-day look like now?
Day-to-day?
What is the highlight reel? Wait. Don't tell me the highlight reel. No. Or do. Yeah. I don't really care.
Day-to-day right now, our general manager handles most of the management side of things. I work on many fun projects now. Like I said, I kind of I've done photography for years. That was really my first little side hustle that I did while I was in nursing. I wouldn't call it maybe super successful. I wouldn't call it a super successful business, but it did take us all over the world.
The photography.
The photography, which maybe that is success.
No, you're successful. I was just walking through your hallway and I was like, wait, these are all her pictures.
They are
and
all my
like,
photos.
it looks like I'm at like a show house. You wouldn't know.
Thank you.
Unless you knew that they were, unless I didn't, if I didn't know that they were your pictures and I didn't know like, oh, that's Indy, I would be like, oh, wait, this is
my photo too.
See? Well, I don't think
Oh,
you can
can't
see it, but one day we'll show you this beautiful picture here. It
Yeah.
looks like it came straight out of like West Elm or something, and it's here
Thank you.
on the wall. You should really talk to them. Maybe give them a call because it's good.
Yeah, the photography was my first thing that I started doing outside of nursing because I just needed something creative and fun.
Yeah.
And we went all over the world. I obviously spent all my money right away. I was hired to go to Europe and to photograph like my dream wedding in Tuscany. And I was like, babe, let's visit all of Europe. So we did 5 countries. So basically by the time we got home, I had made no money from that wedding.
That wasn't the Maricel trip that you posted about yesterday?
No, so it was. So the wedding was in Tuscany that I photographed, and we decided, why not go to Norway and Scotland and France and Italy and in Germany? Like, why not?
How long did that take? Instead, they took their baby.
We were traveling with Indy, who was 18 months old, and we were gone for 3 weeks only. So
that's crazy.
It was crazy. I would not recommend that, honestly, going forward to anyone. We should have just gone to Tuscany and stayed there for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And that would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
But
you get to see all those cool places.
We do. And in the moment that I was stressed out as we're going from place to place 3 days at a time, not even knowing where we were going to stay that night, because that's how we used to travel.
Yeah.
And we thought, why not do that with a kid? No, you do not do that with a kid.
I know a few people that are in for a big surprise when they have children and they try to travel.
Yeah.
Okay. So your day-to-day now is still working on photography. You're still working on the business. I saw that you were like working with somebody to kind of, I see it over there, your computer system. You're working on that.
We are revamping. I'm always optimizing management, and I met somebody.
Yeah, I'm like really curious who this person is.
It's a mother of Indy's best friend at school.
Oh, nice.
And just randomly, I'm talking about one of the project management softwares that we use, and she's like, "That's my favorite thing in the entire world."
I'm an expert.
Yeah, and she's an expert, and so she's been showing me how to use the program more efficiently and cut out so much of the excess noise that we have.
Yeah.
So
what a blessing.
I'm so pumped. This was just fate.
Yeah, that is
and
a
now
blessing.
we're redoing all this stuff, and right now Colin he's a realtor in the area, and so that's also whenever Colin has a great idea, I will then be the one to like make it happen. I'll like push it and build a business.
Yeah.
So he's doing the real estate stuff locally, and I'm trying to build the business, the back end side.
Right. You guys are a great team.
I do the website. I'll do like the branding stuff, and then I'm just the creative, or I'm the organized side of it.
Right.
So I'm building all his business out now on this new platform the platform that we've already been using, Asana.
Yeah.
And now
plug.
We're getting everything at Asana. Please sponsor us. And it's just, yeah.
I kind of want to backpedal and like kind of briefly go through. So you started, what year did you start in business?
2020 was our first property.
So 2020, you had a baby a year later. And then 3 years later, you were up to 250 properties, right?
5 years later.
5 years later, up to 250 properties.
Yes.
You're managing the whole thing with your brother and your husband, and now you're just kind of getting more efficient.
Yes.
And building and scaling. And you have more time to do those types of things. And now you're doing more creative projects. And you've got the photography project, and then you have the other project, the Proof of Mom project. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So, like I said, I always kind of go back to photography as just my creative outlet. And recently I was sharing how I was looking back at my camera roll since having my son, and he's 15 months, and I had hardly any photos of us in it together.
Right.
And I just shared that online that I was kind of bummed out about that. And I just took my phone and set up a tripod, had a couple prompts, and I shared how I captured it. And it super resonated with a ton of moms that they were also finding themselves handing over their camera or getting photos of their husband and the kids by themselves, but they were not in the photos with their kids.
Yeah.
And
or there are pictures of like you being like,
or horrible photos that your husband or whoever captures. And yeah, so a lot of moms were feeling the same way, kind of left out of their own memories. And so I just started sharing a little bit of how to get back in the camera, giving prompts as I'm doing it myself.
Right.
Because I want this too. Obviously, I'm like a photographer, and I'm like, how am I the one that's not
in the picture?
In the picture, there's no excuse.
Yeah.
So I figured that that was probably an issue for moms who don't have photography always calling to them.
Right.
So I started sharing that, and that's been just a fun project. I'm kind of teaching moms on the side, and we'll see where that goes.
I love the name. I'm really pushing this one.
You are. You're really pushing this.
Proof of mom. It's a good concept.
Well, it's
I like
so hard. It's so easy to disappear, especially if you're a mom with ambition and you're doing all these things.
Yeah.
When you have a moment, you're just hanging out with your kid. You're not thinking.
Well, yeah, because my mom doesn't have any pictures.
Photos together.
My mom doesn't have any pictures of like us or her, and I don't know how much of that she's like, oh, I was poor, I couldn't afford a camera, but how much of that is like she just didn't have anybody to take the picture.
Yeah.
It was before camera phones, so I'll give her that.
Yeah, I mean, now that everybody has iPhones, they take decent photos.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely think you'll never get a better photo than having a real camera.
Yeah.
And if you can't afford that, I feel like most people can and just don't know how to use it. Because there are plenty of excellent cameras that are affordable.
Yeah.
And with Amazon, you can get a stand or a tripod that's $20.
Yeah, it's like just like we did.
Just like we have recording this podcast right now.
The plug soon.
Yeah, LTK so we'll share what we're doing and how we're doing it. But yeah, so that's one thing that I'm working with photography. I also just naturally photograph architecture.
Yeah, I've been noticing you've been posting a lot of like the winery architecture in the valley.
I love doing that,
which is beautiful. I hope you're following all these wineries and like sending them the pictures and being like, hey, took these pictures.
Yes. I've had a few wineries that I visited and I took photos and then I would share them online. Then they reach out and they're like, hey, this is really beautiful. Can we use it? And I'm trying to figure out how to pitch that then to them as maybe a work opportunity.
I would just be like, hey, yeah, I'd love to come and do a wine tasting.
Yeah. Well, that's my whole thing. I'm bringing my camera anyways because I love photographing this, but also invite me over for a really cool experience and I'll give you some photos that I was going to take anyways.
Yeah, I would just be like, hey, me and my friends would love to come. I'd love to give you these photos. Do you think that we could come at this time, this date?
Yeah, this
with these people?
With these names.
Do you have snacks?
Yeah, we'll take a charcuterie. That's perfect. That's exactly the plan.
Or talk to Melissa, but she knows she's really good at that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then what else are you working on? And then we started this podcast.
Because we're doing the same things, and it can be isolating, building, and then it's really nice to have somebody to talk to that understands the 121 things that are always circling your mind and things to do. And
yeah, despite all of our technical difficulties, we are still having a good time.
We are having a great time. And an excuse just to work on something together, and it's fun.
And hopefully build community, I think.
For sure.
Is both of our goals.
Yes, I was looking for a mom entrepreneur group last year, and I found one for real estate, but I know that's like the primary business we're doing, but I was thinking, I don't know that I want to be in a real estate specific group. I'm just looking for moms who are doing stuff.
Yeah, like-minded.
I just want to hang out with some moms. I want to chit chat. What are you guys doing? How are you optimizing? How are you splitting time with your kids and your business?
Yeah, like the answers we all want to know.
Yep.
Which apply to every business, not just real estate.
Yeah.
Yeah, like How did you
Exactly.
take that call while your baby was screaming?
Yes. So, yeah. Did you just
Seriously.
slide into the bathroom and shut the door? What
Did
are
you
we doing?
ignore it?
Yeah, yeah.
You pretend you
How
didn't
many
come
minutes
through?
are we okay?
Did you
Like,
tell the baby to
I need all of the hacks.
Yeah, so
Cool.
well, I guess it's
Let's
my
go to
turn?
yours. Yep, let's do your story.
Good.
Okay,
I'm nervous, but it's okay.
I'm gonna check, and we are still recording.
Is
And
my little mic blue still? Like, the blue light still
it's
showing?
blue.
Okay, good. That means it's
Okay,
working.
it means it's working. Okay,
I hope it is. Let us
okay.
pray. Dear Lord.
Please, please, God, let us not record this episode 4 times.
I think we would.
I think we might can it.
I think we
Yeah,
would.
Great. Okay,
Right.
Faith. Tell me about what your life looked like before you started. Kids, money, job. Paint the picture.
Okay. Before I started my own businesses that I have now, I got into the wine industry, which is what taught me most about business, I think. The wine business is super multifaceted. There's a lot of different things that go into it from the ground up. And I started at the bottom because my mom got me a job as an intern, and I was getting paid like $12 an hour, but I was doing way more than $12 an hour work per usual. That's usually the case, right? And I just kept working in wineries and kept doing the wine thing. And I was just working really hard because I didn't have any experience. I didn't go to college. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have the master plan. I didn't have a 5-year plan. My plan was I'm just going to work really hard at this wine thing, which is kind of a niche in its own, and hope for the best. And that people see that I work really hard and hope it works out. And somehow, by the grace of God, it did. I worked for a couple different wineries before I ended up at a winery called Brasswood, and that has a bunch of 100-point winemakers that work there. It's a custom crush facility where you can come and make your wine without actually having to own the building. And they kind of specialized in like high-end winemaking. So I was working with like a bunch of really high-end winemakers, and I just outworked everybody. And people were just like, "Why are you doing that?" And I was just like, "I have nothing else. Like, this is what I have. Like, what my work ethic is all I have. I don't have a degree. I didn't go to Davis. I don't have any winemaking experience in the past. Just me. Like, outworking you is literally what I have. So I'm gonna do that." And then I left that job. My mom hired me briefly as her assistant winemaker, and I worked with my mom. That was my first time working with my mom, for a couple of years, being her assistant winemaker, and I've always helped her, but I was kind of doing a lot. And then there was a winemaker named Russell Bevan, he's got a bunch of 100-point wines. I saw him at a restaurant.
And 100-point wines, for those of us who don't know wine language.
So 100-point wine is like the creme de la creme of wine. So it meets all of the standards for amazing wine.
That's like the highest ranking you can have is 100.
Yeah, 100 points. And these are Robert Parker 100 points, so they're not just any.
I don't know those names. All names that you say.
It's okay. That's for another time.
Okay.
Robert Parker is Russell. I saw him at a restaurant. He was talking about how he had just picked up a new winery. He's a consultant winemaker. He makes wines for a bunch of different wineries. He had just picked up a new winery, and they were looking for employees. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Just chatting it up. Like that's a cool project you're working on." And he was like, "Actually, you would make a really good fit to work there as like the cellar master." And I was like,
How did he know you?
I worked at Brasswood with him. And I was one of those people that just worked really hard on his wines.
So he saw he noticed your work ethic from before.
Yeah, he would notice that I was willing to kind of do anything to make it work, and he liked that. And so he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna call them and talk to them about hiring you, and I'll let you know." So I'm like just sitting around. I'm like, "Okay, see you later."
And what is cellar master?
A cellar master, it can be different things, different places, but typically they just manage the winery operations.
So that's kind of a step up.
It was a
big
big
step up.
step up.
Big promotion
A
from
big
where
promotion.
you were.
Yeah, I was like more like lead seller, which is I'm racking, doing most manual labor, which seller masters are doing manual labor, but they're managing essentially staff or just
So
everything.
Your work ethic got you a big promotion.
Yeah, I got a big promotion. They put me on a retainer for 6 months, which I thought was crazy. This is why I love Russell. I hope he one day watches this episode because he is such a good boss. He like really goes to bat for people who work for him, and I think he believes in loyalty. So he's like, you can have whatever title you want. I'll get you paid as much as I possibly can. Just do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Dang,
And like
I
that
won't work for Russell.
it's a
Are you
lot.
hiring?
It's a lot. But he makes it kind of worth it. And he also left me to my own devices a lot. So I learned a lot working for him because he wasn't there to answer all my questions all the time, despite me calling him hundreds of times, being like, Russell, what's happening? He was like,
It's like, this is why I hired you. I'm on vacation.
yeah,
Bye.
or whatever he's doing.
Or whatever.
He's managing a lot of places. But so that was kind of, and then I was working with these people who came into the wine industry, and they came from different businesses. Like I was working with this lady named Cheryl. Hi, Cheryl. And she was me and her. I think we really liked each other because we were both really smart and we enjoyed like kind of having this back and forth all the time, but we didn't always agree. But we had this way of like, people were always just sitting in the office being like, what are they going to talk about today? Like, so she taught me a lot. She taught me a lot about like how to be a woman in business and like how to kind of assert myself and stick up for myself, and kind of, which in the wine industry is really difficult. It's still a male dominated field. So she taught me a lot in that sense, like where to sit at the table, how to handle contractors, how to get things done, how to move things along quickly. So it's a lot of the bulk of what I learned at that job. And then COVID happened, I got laid off, and my mom was like, I could use you full time. So then I went to work for her full time in 2019. And that's really when I started to learn a few things, because my mom is a really creative person. She's an amazing winemaker, but as far as the business side, I don't think was really that interested in the business side of things. And I just saw opportunity there and I kind of really went for it. But then I started to kind of realize that this isn't my dream. This is her dream. And we were just kind of beefing because I was just running it pure business. Like I was thinking from like a pure business perspective, like the business needs to run, and she's thinking of it as passion project. This is my name. This is like,
it sounds so much like the tension we had in our real estate company initially, because it's me, my husband, and brother.
Right.
Family dynamics in business are a little nutty.
Right. But it made me, I will say, a better person. But I am glad of where me and my mom are now. So was it hard working with my mom? Yes. Am I glad I did it? Yes.
That's a really good attitude.
So then a year ago, my dad passed away, and something that he said to me before he passed was like, you always do what everybody else wants you to do, and I think you should do what you want to do because you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And I was just like, I was caught off guard. I was like,
really nice
I was like, he's so right. I do everything. I do everything that everybody wants me to do, and I've never taken my own risks because nobody ever told me that I could. It was always just like, you should do this. So I did that.
Are you a people pleaser?
I'm recovering. Hardcore. So I was like, all right. And I told Mario that I wanted to start this like play cafe. And then I started going around and like touring all these buildings and calling people. And Mario's kind of like, what are you doing? And I'm like, not divulging a lot of information at this point. I'm just like, I'm just taking a look. And I'm getting excited. And then I call my friend Tiana and I'm like, hey, there's these 2 locations for this play cafe. Who's an architect, and she's an amazing person. I call her and I'm like, hey, I'm looking at these places to do this play cafe. This is my budget. Do you mind coming to look at these spaces with me? And she did, and we looked at them, and she was like, I had to be honest, because I wanted to do coffee at first.
Yes, you were talking to me last summer about coffee. Like kid play cafe, and I was like, yes, I will be there.
I know. And then after talking to Tiana and her kind of looking at my budget and her being an architect in the Valley and knowing what things cost, she was like, it's not going to cut it. You need to think of something else. And also these locations just aren't really that great. You're going to end up with a lot of money. You're going to be investing a lot of money trying to get these places up to code, and coffee is very expensive, margins are low. I don't think it's a good idea. And I was like, okay. And so then I called my friend as like a last ditch effort to find a location where I could open this. I called my friend Nick and I was like, hey Nick, you have this tasting room in downtown Calistoga. You guys aren't open all the time because they have a lot going on. They have their own
I didn't know
winery.
that.
They have their own winery, and they've got a lot of other. They've got real estate projects, and they got stuff in Hawaii. They got 2 kids. They got stuff going on everywhere. And so I was just like, hey Nick, I'm interested in having this like play cafe. Your location is amazing, and I could
It's
sell.
amazing. It's on Main Street.
Yeah,
Like,
it's on Main Street,
it's
Calistoga.
perfect.
It's perfect. And I was like, I'll sell your wine. I'll just take a percentage of the sales, and I'll have my concept in there, and it'll kind of be like a team effort. It'll be win-win. And it very much surprised me. He was like, yeah, let's do it. Let's meet. And so me and Tiana, we went and we looked at it with him, and Tiana didn't have to do this, but I think she understood my urgency. I'm a very urgent person, and we got to work right away. So we didn't even have a lease. Like she was designing everything, kind of like we were like making all these plans, and then I called my friend Abdul, who has worked on my mom's websites and those businesses, and I was like, Abdul, I want to start this business. I need a website. And he's like, what are you doing? Being the inquisitive person that he is. I was like, I want to start this play cafe and da da da. And he's like, I don't think you need a website. I think you need a funnel. And I was like, what are you talking about? I don't know what a funnel is. And he's like, yeah, you need a funnel. And him being him, he really took it upon himself to kind of like start asking me these questions that I had not thought of, like how are you going to make this a sustainable business? How are you going to like make money? And like, who's your ideal client? And all these things that I was just like, I thought the play cafe was the business.
It's such a good idea. Stop questioning me.
I was just like, I'm gonna do it. But he's like, let's do it. Let's do a little experiment. Let's do a test. And we did that test, which I think I'm skipping ahead a little bit on our questioning, but
it's okay.
We can circle back.
Yeah.
So we did this test where we tested the market, which I recommend everybody does before they start a business.
Yeah,
because
very smart.
It can be like me. I would have done it regardless, but I'm so glad that I went with him.
There's also like marketing. There's just different ways to phrase things that could totally land or totally not land. And figuring that out before you go 100% all in on maybe the wrong phrase
and nobody comes
with the same idea, just
different
phrasing.
word.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy.
So we ran a test, and Abdul really helped me, and we'll talk more about that later. But and so within 3 months, I was fully open, ready to go.
Incredible. I was shocked when you were like, "Hey, I'm open," and it's a wine cafe. I was like, "Wait, I thought you were doing coffee." You're like, "Nope, it's wine."
I did miss that part. Is that I did decide to use the wine instead of coffee, and it naturally was fitting. And people were like, "What made you think of this?" I'm like, "I don't know. It just made sense to me."
Well, you said you would have had to learn a totally new industry, the coffee, and your whole background is wine, so it was so much more seamless to stay in your niche.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So what was the specific moment where you said, "Fine, I'll do it"?
Oh, right. I answered all the questions, but okay. So the fine, I'll do it moment was the moment where my dad, probably not at that moment, but just like contemplating with what my dad had said to me, and being so frustrated because I quit working for my mom after my dad died. I didn't have a job, and I just didn't really know what to do.
I met you in this moment.
Yeah, probably. It was just like I was just like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna go? Who am I can't go get a job. I can't go work for somebody else, even though my husband really thought that I should. I don't think he was thinking it in that way. Like, who is going to pick up the kids in an emergency when it's needed? It just didn't make sense to me with my background. And if it was a different industry, maybe, but the wine industry, you're working in the harvest period, you're working like 12 to 16-hour days. The grapes don't pick themselves. You're making the pick calls. You're doing all the logistics. Like, what? If I went back into that industry, I think my kids really would have suffered. And I just wasn't willing to do that. So I was really, really, really wanting to start a business. And I have a background in hospitality. So I think that was the moment that I was like, fine, I'm just gonna I'm going to do this. And my dad saying what he said really kind of put it into perspective for me that I should probably do what I want instead of listening to everybody else all the time, because I just didn't. There was a lot of pressure to go back to work, and I was just like, I just don't think you guys are seeing it the same way I do, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, fine, I'll just
Yeah.
start my own thing, and not everybody was happy about it, and that's okay.
We're figuring it out.
Figuring it out. But I am able to be with my kids, and I'm able to, if like I've had kidney stones for the past month, and I've been dealing with that, and
Yeah, can you imagine if you're on payroll, they would be like, see ya.
they'd be like, good luck with disability,
Yeah.
which there is
I mean,
some downsides is that
yeah.
I don't have the opportunity to get
Yeah,
disability.
it's a give and take.
But I do have the time to heal, and you start to like kind of relearn like the whole like, oh, like we don't have to do the whole 9 to 5 thing. I can fit a lot of work into 3 hours. I don't need to work 9 to 5 all day long.
Yeah.
Which is hard to unlearn.
What's the mistake you made early on and would never put on Instagram, or you would put it on Instagram?
It's hard to answer, is because I feel like every day I make mistakes. But I think probably there's a lot. I did a lot of things. I guess the first mistake, I don't know. How did I answer this question last time?
I don't remember.
Did I get to this part?
Yeah, you did.
The mistake that I made that I wouldn't put on Instagram would probably, I feel like I make mistakes every day, and I feel like it's unavoidable. I think that's my answer, is that the mistakes make you a better person, and that you learn from them, and that you're going to make mistakes. And you should put it on Instagram, and we should let everybody know.
I need to see more mistakes online.
Yeah, what are you guys doing?
My perfectionism gets way worse when I just see everybody posting the perfect product.
I know. Well, like, people are always like, yeah, you do know that your Instagram post is misspelled. I'm like, you do know you read it, right?
Thank you for the engagement.
Thanks for reading it 3 times. So I guess that's my answer.
I like it. What did starting cost you?
$79,000.
There it is.
No, I think I went all in. That was all of the money that I had. And it is scary. And it cost me 3 months because of time with my family and children, and probably a lot of arguments. Because in opening, I was working from the time I woke up, and then I was building all the furniture, I was putting everything together, I was building the website, I was doing all the marketing, I was doing all the texting and reaching out to people and everything, and dealing with the contractors. And so I from like 8 a.m. until a lot of times 12 a.m. I was gone. So my husband was taking care of the kids for 3 months straight, and I think he was just like, what are we doing?
Faith, we need to have a chat.
And so we did have a chat, and I opened, and
is he excited or into it now? Yeah.
I think we're the type of people where we are both just kind of like, we're always trucking along. So we're never really overly excited about anything. But I'm looking forward to the day when we're just like,
we need to celebrate.
Yeah. But we aren't there. Every day is a celebration in our book. We lived.
Okay, there we go. Well, that's good. I feel like it's hard when you're building, you reach a milestone and then there's always something larger.
Yeah.
So that's something I have not been good at with our company. We've done things, and there's always just so much work. But if you don't celebrate, you guys are doing things.
Yeah, and I'm that way. I'm that way because I think I've gone through so much in my life that every day is a celebration, that I've survived so many things that I'm just like, I'm gonna go hit some golf balls today. I did a good job.
I have you seen.
I did a great job.
You're out on the
answering
boat.
That call. I think I'm gonna go have a glass of wine.
For all the days that I didn't celebrate this one.
Yes, exactly. For all the couple of hours I didn't celebrate, let's celebrate for the next month. I'm having a June.
When was the first time you thought, okay, this might actually work?
So the first time I thought that this might actually work was going back to Abdul. We were in that A/B test with the marketing, and he asked me all these questions, and I was just like, wow, thank you, Abdul. He made me a spreadsheet, and he was like, so we ran a test where we put out ads. We did ads, and it sent and to engage how interested people would be. Would they A, spend money on it, or B, at least give us our email to show us that they're interested? And lo and behold,
And this was Facebook ads?
these are Facebook and Instagram ads, and lo and behold, people responded really well to it. And immediately we had like 22 members, and that was paying almost like more than half of the rent. And I was just like, and Abdul's like, I think this is a sustainable business. I think as long as you're doing this amount every month, it's a sustainable business. Has that happened? No, but it was a really good sign that it was a good idea, and gave me a lot of confidence. And
yes, people are interested.
And so thank you, Abdul. I'm going to make you watch this episode so that you can hear me say thank you, Abdul, one last time. For kind of making sure that I took the right steps and understood my market, because that a lot of A/B testing and a lot of marketing is understanding who your customer is. And I had no idea. I mean, I knew that I've learned now that I was the customer that I was trying to target, but at the time I was just like, this is a good idea, you know? But now I've learned that actually everything I do needs to be surrounded by the ideal customer, which is me, which is somebody who's looking for community, looking for support, wanting a place where you can take your kids, wanting to be able to enjoy yourself, have a glass of wine, and not worry about if your kid is, bothering everybody in the building, and that kids have a supportive place where they feel like they are liked and not feel like they're a problem, because it's just like a thing now in restaurants and experiences, is that like kids and parents feel very out of place and very unwanted, and that was something that I actively despised.
We are in kind of a bougie area.
Yeah, like I despise that about it, because there's so many wineries that I think could be great, but they refuse to change or adapt, and that's the upcoming market. The new wine drinkers that everybody's so concerned about are parents. And
that's true. The old generation is
they're
going
being told that
away.
they can't drink anymore. They're on Ozempic, or they're dying. Or they have too much wine. Like they don't have any more wine. They have no room in their cellars. So if you want to bring new people in, you got to accept that parents are some of those people.
You said it. So what does today look like?
Today looks like I've had kidney stones for a whole month.
We're not thinking past that.
That's just kind of where we are. And I'm having surgery tomorrow. But I think my day-to-day kind of looks like I hired somebody full-time. Her name is Carla, and she does an amazing job. I think that's something I had to do. There was no way around hiring somebody as a mom. So she runs everything day to day, and then I kind of do creative fun stuff that I enjoy and hopefully will make me money soon. We started this podcast. I do some consulting with moms on how they could start their own business if they were interested. And then we're just doing all kinds of stuff. We're blogging, we're making podcasts, I started reselling things on eBay.
Yeah,
I haven't sold one thing yet, but the day that I do, I swear to God, I'm celebrating. I'm celebrating already. Yeah, but I've got a lot of cool stuff. Just so you know, you should try it.
What's your eBay name?
Oh, I'll link it in the comments, because I don't. It's like some weird name that I made up in 2017.
Me and Faith love thrifting and antiquing, and that was one thing we did together before we decided to do podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to. Do we do only one estate sale?
An estate sale, and we went to Lolo's.
And we've gone. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
I know that you are always thrifting, and so she's finding these cool things, and that makes total sense. To why would you not resell some of these incredible items you're finding?
Yeah, exactly.
So fun. This is such a good area too for thrifting.
Oh my God, so
there's
great.
Some wild homes in this area,
and I think that's something that we'll come out with later, is like a list of businesses that moms could start, and I think this is definitely one of them. eBay reselling. I'll figure it out, and I'll give you the blueprint.
Yep.
And you can go do it yourself.
That's what we're doing. Yeah. So that's all the questions I have for you. Should we talk about why we decided to do the podcast? We kind of touched on it a little bit. We should talk about it, because they should know. The people should know. And we're going to do this again. We're going to reintroduce ourselves so many times. Yes, we will.
The story will be different, I think, every time.
Which would be cool because we'll be farther ahead in business.
Yeah.
We're going to have awesome updates. So why this podcast?
The podcast, I think, because I kind of was the one that was like, wait, we need a podcast. I had seen somebody who I really like in the wine industry doing marketing, and he does a lot of experimental marketing.
What's his name?
Evan
You
Roscoe.
showed him to me. He is my favorite to watch now. I
love
can't
him.
not watch his
He's
videos.
just so abrasive.
he just says what needs to be said,
and he's
offending people, and I'm here for it. I love it when people challenge the narrative.
I love it. Yeah, so I saw him, and I'd asked him to come take some pictures of the village because I just like his style. And anyways, I saw that he had done like a random podcast. I think it was experimental, but I was like, wait, he's kind of onto something. I think that's a good way. One, to learn marketing. Two, to like get experience and be out there. Three, I think it would be a good way to like introduce people to our businesses. And so anyways, I called Jen and I was like, Jen, actually I think I texted you. And I was like, so you have some podcast experience. Like I think you would be great.
Oh yeah,
I think you would be great on a podcast. I think we should do a podcast together. And you were like, what?
It's like, can I get back to you? I need to think about this for a minute. I have so many projects going on right now. I forgot to talk about that. I launched a podcast before.
Well,
that was one of the things in real estate. We launched a little podcast because we're all nurses and we were talking about what we had done and we thought it would resonate with other nurses. We know a lot of unhappy nurses.
Yeah.
So anyways, I've launched a podcast with my brother and husband, but they were the ones that mostly spoke on it. I don't really get on it. I just kind of help them back end things. But yeah, so when you mentioned, hey, we should start a podcast, I immediately thought, oh my gosh, this is way more work than I think she knows it is. And I also knew from hearing how fast you launched the village that if I agreed, we'd basically have a podcast in 35 minutes.
Oh, I was already on my way. I was like, I'm gonna start this podcast whether she likes it or not.
And you didn't tell me that. Thankfully you didn't tell me that. You're just like, I thought I was the one and only. So
no, you were the one and only. I was just already building it.
You're already building. That makes sense. So I was like, give me a couple days. I just want to think about it. And I presented it to my husband when he got home, and I was like, hey, I know I do a lot of other things on the side. What do you think about this idea and adding it to my plate? I totally thought he would shoot it down.
Right.
And he thought it was a great idea.
Which, thank you, Colin.
He was like, no, this is something that I think moms need. You guys are doing so much. Your moms and ambition. Like this is a whole area where I think it's underserved, and obviously you and Faith are doing things. So he thought that it would be really helpful to this community. And like you said, we both were actively looking for that community. So why not build it?
Yeah, why not build it? And so what do we meet like a day later?
Yes, I was gonna. I don't even know if I told you this when I was like, "Hey, let's chat about this." And I was thinking like on the phone. She's like, "Okay, I'll be there in 30 minutes."
I think I was like, I'm in your driveway.
Yeah, that's also happened before. Hey, I'm here. Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing it.
And then what we named it that same day.
Yeah, because we're excited. We're excited, and we like to make both of us like to get things done.
Yeah.
And so when we decide something's happening, it's happening.
Yeah, whether anybody likes it or not.
My book. Look out, world. So we hope that this resonates with you mom entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I have one of my best friends is a dog mom, not a human mom.
Yeah.
And she was saying that it resonated so much with her as well. She's like, this information is like
it's applicable to anybody.
It's applicable to a lot of just women.
Yeah.
But we as moms, have a little bit more chaos maybe.
Yeah.
Especially especially with little kids. So no, we're here. We're going to be chatting about business and sharing another mom story and what we're taking away and what you could take away. And like Faith said, we're going to also share some ideas of businesses that moms could launch easily without needing a lot of overhead. So
yeah, and if you have any questions for us or you want us to research anyone specific, send us an email or leave a comment on our Instagram
Yes.
or however you find us, put it in a review, whatever.
Yes,
Give us a
and
call, and we would love to take you up on
we're
that.
taking suggestions for sure. There's so many cool people doing fun stuff, so we're going, just let us know what you want to hear and
I
topics.
keep saying this is I want to host like retreats and like all kinds of Jen's like, yeah. I'm like, retreat.
Now we're
we
gonna
have
be
big
celebrating.
plans. We have big
Yes.
plans.
So, let us know.
Yeah.
And we'll do it together.
Yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, we did it. It's still recording. Everything is recording.